Hey, everybody. Once again, I'm back with another edition of Seductive Poison, the Resurgence. And we're going to be talking about some more so bad they're good horror films. I have 10 more horror films to talk about tonight. I do have the link in the chat for everybody. For anybody that is interested in coming on live and either talking about the movies I'm talking about or add your own. Otherwise, it'll be me up here talking about movies again. So I'm glad that to see that 7 people are in here already. Hey, Chris. Chris says, "Evening, everybody. Slash the like." Thank you so much, Chris. Hey, Blissful. Hey, Darren. So, I got a few things that I'm really excited about to talk about for the Daily Grindhouse. These are going to be some upcoming things, and I've kind of been talking about one of them kind of here and there about my plans, but now we've got plans more cemented, more set in stone. Okay, unless something really strange happens, these plans will come to fruition. So let's go ahead and kick off the Daily Grindhouse. And then I'm going to talk about a few of these things. And then we're going to get to the movies for tonight. So here we go. All right. So guess what? This weekend, you're going to get a double dose of movie munchies. And for those of you not in the know about the movie Munchies, in case you haven't seen my pilot episode or pilot stream of that, I made reanimate or animate agent or whatever, reanimator serum reagent. I believe that's what it was. I just totally forgot what it was. Syringes. And those were made with vodka. You can make them virgin. I think the next batch I do, I'm just going to get some sour apple or green apple flavoring, but no booze. So the next ones I make are going to be all virgin. So if you have kids wanting to partake of them, or you're just not a drinker, or you've quit drinking, you can modify these recipes. You don't have to have booze in there, okay, to make these good. In fact, I was telling Steve that I thought that the booze kind of overpowered the other taste in this one. So I'm really looking forward to making these again without the vodka in them. And just substituting some green apple or sour apple flavoring. Chris, you say, unfortunately, can't think of anything that's so bad they're good. And Blissful says, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you. And thank you, Blissful. So anyway, you may be thinking, well, what is she going to do these movie munchies on? So because there are going to be 2 this weekend, one of these is going to be a live. The other one is going to be a pre-recorded video that I will then upload to YouTube. Okay, so the live one is going to be for the shopping mall blood orange Julius's. Okay, and remember when I said I was going to use the styrofoam cups and use the technique that this guy had shown on It's Reek TV that I didn't even know existed till I watched this guy's video. So, in a nutshell, basically, he takes styrofoam cups, he takes heat transfer paper, and he takes some heat transfer vinyl. Okay. And he also takes an iron on low heat. So, He puts the image on heat transfer paper on the cup. Then he puts the heat transfer vinyl over top of it. Hey, Super Batman nerd. And then he takes the iron on low heat and just rubs like the tip of the iron over the image. Now, the thing you got to be careful about is to make sure that the heat's not too hot, and that you basically don't iron it too much, or else you'll get these little bubbles around your logo. Okay, that's not what you want. What you want is eventually to see the texture of the styrofoam cup coming through your logo. And when he was done, it looked like that logo had been professionally printed on the styrofoam cups. Now, keep in mind with styrofoam cups, people are not going to keep them forever and ever and ever, more than likely. These are going to be a one and done type of deal, right? So I have created a couple of different, and I modified one of these to be more like the one that Casey, the homicidal homemaker, had on her site. Because keep in mind, she didn't show, either how you created your own cups or did she get them custom made. So I just came up with my own way to do it. Okay. So I have two different logos that I'm going to try. And one is this logo, which I hope you guys can see pretty well. There's a little bit of glare on it. This is the red lettering with the blue outline or blue drop shadow and the blood spatters in the background. Now, this was just created with Photoshop. So if you're familiar with how Photoshop works with layers, then you could make this in about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. The other one, and I'm probably going to try to make the logo bigger when I actually use it, is this lighter blue looking logo that has light blue on the lettering and a red drop shadow. And again, the red blood spatters in the background. Now, Steve said that I showed him both, and he said he liked this one better. Now, actually, the font was a logo. I was able to get a transparent logo, Blissful for Chopping Mall. So I'll be totally honest, I did not create the lettering myself. I was able to find a free font, but I just modified it to my liking and added the blood spatters. Now, like I said, I'm going to try both of these and see which one I like better. I think when I actually print this out on transfer paper, I'm going to make sure that I make it larger because I want it to be as large as this one. But so I'm going to be making orange Julius's with the Chopping Mall cups once I get the logo. You say, Blissful, you think the red one seems more 80s? Yeah, I kind of did too, but I want to try both just because Casey's was more like this one. So I want to try both and see which one I like better. And, if they turn out really, really good, I'm not planning on selling them or anything because I don't think anybody would buy them on Etsy. Especially if they're going, if they're going to plan on setting it somewhere and never using it to drink anything out of, then it might be okay. But hey, in the end, it's just a styrofoam cup. But and Super Batman nerds in the house now, and so that's one thing I got planned. So the Orange Julius Movie Munchies episode will be live because that it doesn't take as much to make these as it will my second Movie Munchies. And what am I going to be doing for the second movie munchies is, well, hold on just one sec. I want to show you guys all the things that I am going to have delivered Saturday for the Orange Julius. Okay. You do this. All right. So let's share my screen. And hopefully you guys and gals can see that pretty well. Okay. So the first item is some printable iron-on heat transfer paper for dark fabrics. There are 10 sheets in this. So the next thing is 20-ounce disposable foam cups. I'm getting 25 of these for about $18. Then I'm getting, this is going to be my mini iron or my mini heat press. For $20, I don't think you can go wrong. This is for, it's a mini iron for crafts, portable heat press for t-shirts, shoes, hats, and small HTV vinyl projects. And of course, I had to get the pink. I'm also getting some striped paper straws that are orange, and there's a pack of 100 in here. To help with some of the heat transfer stuff and for some stuff I'm going to do later, I'm also getting a weeding tool kit. This isn't like absolutely essential, but for for about $9 and it's pink, I thought it was cute. So the last thing I'm getting is some heat transfer vinyl. It says for t-shirts, but in this case, we're going to use it for the styrofoam cups. This is white HTV vinyl roll, iron-on, easy to cut and weed, glossy surface. So you can see, kind of what this stuff looks like. So, and of course you can get different colors and stuff like that if you're needing to use different colors, right? And even if you already have some of this stuff, you can use scraps for, depending on how big your logo is. Okay. So I am going to I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. Super Batman Nerdy say, I seen the steelbooks. Walmart had wanted to get them, but they seemed bloody expensive to me. Wow. Hey, X-Ray, you say, this is the wrapping paper string, Dana? No, actually, that is heat transfer vinyl, X-Ray, for when I make my styrofoam cups with the chopping mall labels. Or logos, rather. Super Batman Nerdy say, saw Leprechaun, Firefly, Rob Zombie's Halloween, and Blair Witch double feature. Okay, so the other movie munchie that I'm going to be doing is for Slauson Spicy Beer Chili. Now, here's the thing. I saw on the Homicidal Homemaker site that she was supposed to be doing a video recipe. And for whatever reason, either she had it put up and had to take it down for some reason. I don't know. It was to go along with Joe Bob Briggs' first our first last drive-in movie marathon. Remember when we thought this was going to be the last time Joe Bob was going to be on the air? And they had the big marathon. Well, evidently, she was planning on doing that, and for whatever reason, I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't find it on her website. I couldn't find it on her YouTube page. So I came up with the idea to just make my own and just modify the recipe that I found. So the recipe I found is on damndelicious.net. And I'll share my screen real quickly here with you guys and gals again, just so I can show you a little bit of this recipe. And this you can make in the Instapot as well. Okay, so I'm going to, once again, scroll down here. This is the best Instapot chili. And look at that. Look at the presentation. I think that looks absolutely delicious. And this is what Steve and I are going to be eating through the week, in the coming week. This does make 8 servings. Prep time's 15 minutes. The cook time's 45 minutes for a total of an hour. So the one substitution I'm going to make this more in tune with the movie Tourist Trap is that I am going to change the 2 15-ounce cans of black beans to 2 15-ounce cans of kidney beans. Okay. The rest of it, I'm pretty much going to keep the same. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing that. And so you guys and gals can all look forward to that upcoming this weekend. Probably the Chopping Mall Orange Julius's will be made on Saturday, while the chili will be made on Sunday. And keep in mind, the Orange Julius stream, well, it will be a live stream, while the chili recipe, Slauson Spicy Beer Chili, will be a video that I then upload onto YouTube. You started watching Tourist Trap earlier, Blissful. I loved it. I know what you thought of it, or what you think of it so far. So here's the other thing, and then I promise we're going to get to the movies. A lot of people were asking, if I could have basically multiple angles when I do these cooking videos or these movie munchies videos and streams. I have come up with a way to do that. Now, I've got to test it out this weekend, so I'm going to test it out early this weekend. So if you have the professional version of StreamYard, which I do right now, you can add an extra camera to, I can't even talk, an extra camera to StreamYard. So what I'm planning to do, we have you probably can't see it, but we have an extra webcam that's just basically just sitting there, and a few years old Logitech webcam, okay, that neither Steve nor I am using right now. I have another Logitech camera that I'm using back at the gaming computer to do my streams. However, Steve says I can borrow his laptop. So not only will I be more than likely using my tablet with the camera on there, but I will also be bringing in the Logitech webcam hooked to Steve's laptop. Okay. And that way I can put the screens side by side, or the camera side by side, just like when I have someone on here as a guest, so that you will see me on one side, you will see whatever I'm working with on the other side. whether I'm, mixing something up or whatever. No longer will I be holding the bowls up and afraid I'll pour something out or any of that. So we're going to have dual cameras at work that day, as long as everything works out all right. So, okay, so I'm going to read through these chat messages that you guys have put in here, and then we're going to get to the movies. Um, Chris says Scarface 4K Steelbook Best Buy exclusive. Just pre-ordered that day one. Oh man, I need to get that. And Chris, you say I have the Saw Steelbook film collection coming. Blissful's correct. You guys find the best places to buy. Chris, you say, LOL, I'm just not good with my money, aka a compulsive buyer. Well, me too, Chris. Don't feel bad. Almost pre-ordered that my Bloody Valentine, but thought better of it. Have a lot coming next month and some this month. You love Tourist Trap so far, Blissful? That's great. I'll ask you, when you finish it up, what you thought of the whole package. Chris says Tourist Trap is a trippy film. Darren says, I'm the same, Chris. I think we all got a film spending habit. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Darren, that the opening of Tourist Trap in the gas station is so creepy. The whole thing with the mannequins and all of that, and just the simple thing of the mannequins opening their mouth and you hear that scream and X-ray. No, we won't be viewing Steve's laptop photos. I don't think he's got anything off color in there, but um, I'm mainly going to be using the laptop as a way to hook up the webcam because sadly my tablet doesn't have a spot to hook in a webcam. Chris, you say, yeah, the dude is screaming and way overacting. Yeah, the dolls too. The dolls too are very creepy. Yeah, Blissful. The cupboard throwing this was pretty cool, or things rather. X-ray, you say Tourist Trap is very good, very weird movie. The Pinot Donaggio score is creepy. I agree. Yeah, I definitely have FOMO, Super Batman nerd. Chris says, true X-ray, the music steals the show. Hey, Wes. Wes says, Steve collects rape porn. Don't lie, Dana. Well, if he does, I don't think it's on the laptop. Lisa, you say it's odd the mannequins aren't freaking me out. All right, so you guys keep on talking in the chat there. I'm going to go ahead and get started with these movies. And I believe the hat's going to have to come off, sadly. Hopefully, when it gets colder weather, I'll be able to wear the hat longer again. Oh, and I did want to remind everybody before I forget, there will sadly be no midday with Dana and Jay tomorrow because this gal's got to work the night shift. And guess what time I got to go into work? 1 p.m. Eastern time, which is a very same time that Jay and I usually do our midday with Dana and Jay. But we will return the following week. All right, so the first movie is Happy Hell Night. Now, does this movie have some creepy ass stuff in it? Yes, it does. Namely, this guy who has solid black eyes in the film. Actually, you say Dana got the punk stripes like the mom and poacher guys. Um, So there's another picture of the guy with the really dark eyes. And Darren McGavin is in this film too. He's right there. Uh, what the fuck is Happy Hell Night, Chris? Well, that's an excellent question. I don't think that this is a movie that too many people have heard of. I caught this movie on satellite when I was still living with my parents and fell in love with it ever since I saw it. Okay. And I'm going to try not to show this cover too much more because I forgot there were some boobies in there and I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. So on October 31st, 1963, 7 members of the Phi Delta Kappa fraternity were found brutally mutilated following an occult ritual inside Winfield Mausoleum. The sole suspect, depraved priest Zachary Malice, was immediately locked away in the bowels of the state asylum. 25 years later, a fraternity hazing prank goes terribly wrong and the psychotic ghoul escapes. Now a relentless evil has been unleashed, and the co-eds of Winfield College will once again face the bloody horror and learn the shocking truth of Happy Hell Night. Darren McGavin, the Night Stalker, Hanger 18, 0 to 60, Georgia Fox, CSI, Ted Clark from Wrong Turn, and Sam Rockwell, The Green Mile and Poltergeist, star in this rarely seen slasher sickie, packed with gratuitous nudity and gore galore. Happy Hell Night has been remastered in HD from the original vault negatives. Code Red did put this out, and it has the tagline 25 years ago, he sold his soul to the devil. Now it's time to pay. Now, the kills are good in this, but let's talk about what's bad. Okay. So the kills and the special effects and all that stuff are all decent. The acting is what leaves so much to be desired. Okay. Because a lot of these people really, really can't act or don't act very well. And that is what makes it bad. But it's also what makes it good. Um, because I think this is one of those movies that you just kind of get taken along for the ride, from the first scene to the last. And there are creepy scenes in this, courtesy of good old Zachary Malice. So would I recommend it? Well, heck yeah, I'd recommend it. Because just like the title of this stream, this is so bad they're good horror films, in my opinion, of course. But I would highly recommend it if you could find a for free version. I'm not recommending that you go out and spend your hard earned money first time out, um, with any of these that I'm going to talk about tonight. Um, but what I was going to do is see if this was available on YouTube. That might be an option for you guys and gals that want to check this out. And lo and behold, you can watch it on YouTube. And in addition, there's some reviews too, as well as a trailer and all that stuff. So, and also this movie came out in the early 90s as well. X-Ray, you said one of the movies, Danger Champions, which has like a 5% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Are you talking about Happy Hell Night, or are you talking about one of these other things I champion? Listen, you say also we voted, and on Wednesday nights, Wes has to wear mittens. Did you hear that, Wes? Are you still in here? Chris, you say, if it's a slasher, I must have it. Well, I would try watching it on YouTube first, Chris, and then, if you like it, then you may be able to get it from Amazon. There may be a 88 films release of this too. I think there is. Well, if you want to pay $30, you can get the DVD. The Blu-ray from 88 Films is $37. Yeah, I don't think I paid that much for this when I got it. So yeah, I would definitely watch it on YouTube first. Super Batman Nerd, you say Evil Tunes is my so bad it's good. Blissful, you say it is, Dana. Um, Chris, you say I do have a slasher. I think it's not good. It's Rush Week. Yep. X-Ray says Evil Tunes is Steve's favorite hentai. So Darren, you got the 88 Films Blue. All right. So the next one is one that I talked about really, really recently as a slashing through September pick. But I'll go over it again really quickly because not only is it a slashing through September pick, but hold on, guys, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. But it is also, in my opinion, a so bad they're good horror film, and that's Hide and Go Shriek. Okay. Because I covered this one quite recently, I'm just going to go over the plot really super quick, and then we're going to move on to the next one. So, a group of teens decides to spend the night at a furniture store owned by the father of one of their members. Joining them for the ill-fated overnight adventure is a homeless ex-con security guard. Isolated and trapped, they're all soon stopped by someone with a taste for cross-dressing, who breaks in and begins to pick them off during a game of hide and seek. It's the ultimate game of death, hide and go shriek. Now watch this slasher classic from a brand new HD master. This one was also put out by Code Red. He's right. You say I see a foot on the cover of it. It's one of Tarantino's favorites. So if that didn't get you wanting to watch this, here's another thing that just might. This is another movie that after Steve did a commentary with me on this, he said he never wanted to see this movie again. A lot of times that just gets my seal of approval when Steve says he doesn't want to see it ever again. Well, thank you, Blissful. I don't know if it was a nice sneeze or not, Wes, but it had to be done. Thank you, Super Batman. Nerd, you said Gazoondike. Wes says, make me wear mittens, Blissful. Come on. Blissful says, Wes, oh, I will. All right, so moving right along, here's one that probably a lot of you guys in here like. And that's Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. And this is a Fred Olin, what? I cannot talk tonight. Fred Olin Ray produced and directed joint, okay? And who else do we have on this? We have Linnea Quigley, we have Gunnar Hansen, we have Michelle Bauer, Don Wildsmith. So I really, really think that you guys, especially, will have fun with this one. Especially if you haven't seen it. But again, if you don't own this one and you want to check it out, I would try to find a for free version first. So, what is this about? Besides chainsaw hookers, well, let's find out. So, Retro Media presents a special high definition Blu-ray from a 2K scan, the original 35 millimeter camera negative. Join Detective Jack Chandler as he tracks a runaway teen played by horror queen Linnea Quigley. Yeah, I mean, Linnea Quigley was still kind of young, but I didn't buy the fact that she was supposed to be a runaway teen. into the dark recesses of Los Angeles' most stringent religious cult. Beware the chainsaw worshipping madman played by Texas Chainsaw Massacre's original Leatherface, Gunnar Hansen. And above all else, watch out for the saw wielding vixen performing the virgin dance of the double chainsaws. Yes, you heard it. The virgin dance of the double chainsaws. Darren, you said the killer in Hide and Go Street probably couldn't be done today. PC Brigade. More than likely. X-Ray, you said that's Fred Olin Ray's only good movie. And you also say Michelle Bauer's Newsy was epic. Well, thank you, Phil, and welcome. You say awesome movie. X-Ray, you say the hotel chainsaw kill is the best scene. Wes says filthy Phil. And Blissel says, hi, Philip. All right. So moving on is a movie, and here might be a seal of approval here, that Steve said, good God, why did you get that movie? And why did you get that movie on Blu-ray? That's Horror House on Highway 5. Yes, this is an awful, awful movie. But again, is it fun? In my opinion, yes, it is. And you actually have somebody, I believe, wearing a they're wearing a Richard Nixon mask as they kill people. So, how could you go wrong with something like this? So, what is the plot? If Horror House on Highway 5 can have a plot, here it is. So, a mysterious killer wearing a Nixon mask terrorizes and murders a young couple. A professor assigns his students a project investigating the strange events connected to a possibly dead Nazi scientist, Dr. Frederick Bartholomew. The doctor's assistant kidnaps students, holding them hostage and torturing them. Meanwhile, Nixon stalks the night. One of the most confusing and compelling homemade horror films ever made, featured music video director Richard Casey's debut feature film, shot over years on nights and weekends, is a delirious collage of oddball gore, ludicrous plot twists, and a general milieu of weirdness. Unlike anything else in cinema history, newly restored from original 16mm vault elements, Vinegar Syndrome presents one of the quintessential cult movies of the 80s, officially on Blu-ray and DVD for the first time anywhere in the world, and that is Horror House on Highway 5. Now, guys and gals, I knew it was going to happen, that I'd have to step away and run to the restroom. But when I return, as long as everybody doesn't go away, I'm going to cover the last 6 films. And again, we're going to try to get done within the hour. All right, so I will be right back. All right, I'm back now. Chris, you say that's an odor vinegar syndrome tile that comes with a DVD. Yep. And this one does come with a DVD. Phil, you say you never heard of Highway 5? Again, if you guys want to watch any of these that you haven't ever seen before, definitely try to find a for free version first. Darren, you say Horror House on Highway 5 is not the worst slasher I've ever seen, but it's top 5. Bliss, what you say? So, rule of thumb: if Steve doesn't like it, we need to watch it. Yeah, that might be a good rule of thumb, at least for a lot of movies I talk about, because he said that. Now if Wes is still in here, he'll say, "Well, we have to agree with Steve on a lot of those." But Final Exam he never wants to see again. Terror on Tour he never wants to see again. Hide and Go Shriek he never wants to see again. And there are several others, I think, but I'm forgetting them right now. Yeah, I did, X-Ray. I had too much Mountain Dew. X-Ray, you say if a movie has no rape scene, Steve ain't interested. So it's out of print, Chris. I wonder if that's one you can watch on YouTube. Let's see, shall we? I'm seeing clips of it. I'm seeing trailers and yeah, I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of reviews of it. Yeah, a lot of movie reviews, but I'm not really seeing the movie itself. Okay. But, that's not to say that you can't, check things like Tubi or something like that, and see if they have it. Ah, there you go. Darren says, Chris, if you're curious, it's on rarelust.com. Thank you, Darren. All right. So the next one is Invasion of the Blood Farmers. This is one that Severin put out. Look at that. Don't they just make you want to watch it? They planted the living and harvested the dead. All right. So, what's this movie about? Well, it's about blood farmers and it's about the invasion of blood farmers. But what else is it about? Okay. So, the 70s Grindhouse classic now scanned from the original negative with new bonus material. In 1972, a team of New York City exploitation outlaws that included Ed Adlam, Shriek of the Mutilated, Ed Kelleher, Prime Evil, and Michael and Roberta Finley, The Touch of Her Flesh and Snuff, along with first-time assistant cameraman and future award-winning cinematographer Frederick Elms, Eraserhead, and Blue Velvet, descended on bucolic Westchester County with 8.5 bottles of stage blood to make a movie about a druid cult seeking to resurrect their dead queen. The budget was $24,000. The cast was paid in beer, and the result remains one of the greatest achievements in schlock shock cinema history. Severin Films is proud to present this accidental masterpiece like you've never seen it before. Now scanned from the original negative for the first time ever and spurting with all new special features. Rock, Shock, and Pop said a complete whack job of a film, a mind numbingly bizarre attempt at low budget horror that's always entertaining and absolutely worth seeing. So I would definitely recommend this one. You can't go wrong with Invasion of the Blood Farmers, especially if you're going to be watching it for free. Don't run out and buy it from Severin like my dumbass did. But the reason why I did that is because I saw this movie years ago with my cousin Jed, and we were just, one, entranced by how bad it was, but also entranced by how creatively insane and entertaining it was as well. So I would definitely, once again, recommend or highly recommend Invasion of the Blood Farmers. X-Ray said, I bookmarked Blood Farmers on Tubi. Now I got to see it. Now, there you go, guys and gals. Thanks, X-Ray. He's letting us know that Invasion of the Blood Farmers is on Tubi. Blissful says it's on YouTube, free. X-Ray says, oh, the Finleys were involved. Now I got to see it. Phil says, paid in beer. I could have been a star. X-Ray, you say Roberta Finley should have been a bigger cult icon, but she shuns her early film career. She's involved with music and sound design now. Lissel says, LOL, Philip, same. Yes, I have that movie, X-Ray. You say her movie Tenement is a South Bronx classic. Do you have Snuff? I've got Snuff too. That's a bad one. Okay. So the next one, you guys and gals might think, or some of you might think, geez, Louise, Dana, this is a little more upper crust bad, right? But Killer Clowns from Outer Space, starring Grant Kramer and Suzanne Snyder. And with the clowns created by the Chiodo brothers. And also, produced and written and directed and all that stuff by the Chiodo brothers. Yeah, this one's bad. There's bad acting. There's overacting. There's all kinds of that in this movie. But what makes this movie great is what the clowns do to people. Encapsulating them in cotton candy. I kid you not. They have cotton candy guns. These are clowns, remember? And I don't think anybody, even people that are having aversion to clowns, are going to be scared by this movie because it is just so much fun. It is so over the top. And yeah, I just can't recommend it enough. When you got aliens dressed as clowns or that look like clowns coming out of a spaceship and then attacking people with cotton candy guns, yeah, you can't go wrong. But let me give you a little bit of a plot synopsis for this movie. Finally, the truth about clowns is out. Beneath their smirky, sinister grins and wildly patterned clothes are clever killers from out of this world. The juxtaposition of their toy store arsenal and malevolent intent proves to be a tasty combination in this killer entertainment that will leave you fearing these big top creatures for good. A spaceship looking like a circus tent, and it certainly does. Lands in the field near a small town, signaling the attack of deviant, red-nosed, balloon-twisting psychos from another world who plan to annihilate mankind by turning people into cotton candy. Yes, I said it. Turning them into cotton candy. Luckily, the town's teen citizenry decides to fight back and teach the cosmic bozos a lesson. But these clowns are no klutzes, turning popcorn, peanuts, and caramel corn into playful but deadly weapons of madcap destruction and mayhem. And that is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. X-Ray, you say, I got a funny story about killer clowns. I remember as a kid, I could rent almost anything but that film. Mom said that my mom looked at the cover and the title and said, "Put that back, Mike. It looks stupid." So she didn't let you rent it because not because she thought it would scare you, but because it looked stupid, right? Boy, I'm glad my parents didn't go by that when I was growing up, or I wouldn't have gotten to watch many of the films that I did. Oh, that's awesome, Blissful. You say I'm on a waiting list for nail decals from this movie. I agree, Super Batman Nerd. I don't know, though, if it's too late in the game for a sequel to Killer Clowns. Yeah, X Ray says you're getting a video game. I think that's as good as it's going to get in terms of follow ups. Killer Clowns was her limit. All right. Super Batman Nerd, you say you watched it on cable at my granny's when I was like 7. So the next one I've already done a watch along for, and that is Killer Workout. Okay. Slasher Video put this out, by the way. But I believe Slasher Video is no more, or that's what I heard. So this is another David Pryor joint, which means that his brother, Ted Pryor, always looking like a bodybuilder, is going to be in this film as well. So a model with a promising career, Valerie, heads out to the local fitness club to use their sun tanning bed. She needs to look her best for her Cosmopolitan magazine cover shoot. Alas, Valerie's visit will end in tragedy when the machine malfunctions, burning her to death. Despite Valerie's death being a public relations nightmare, things are back up and running at the club with the iron fisted Rhonda, played by Marsha Carr, a maniac cop, in charge. But tragedy is lurking just around the corner when another club member is soon found stabbed to death. Enter Lieutenant Morgan, David James Campbell from Scarecrows, the cop on the case, tasked with solving the crimes. He's in for more than he expected as the body count rises. Who's behind the grisly slayings? What's their motive? And who will be the next victim? Killer Workout, I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah, the acting's bad. There's over the top acting. There's people mugging all over the place. And by mugging, I mean with their face. This is a movie that definitely does not take itself seriously. But if I had to compare this with another David Pryor classic, depends on how you look at it, Sledgehammer, this one will win out every time as being more entertaining. Chris, you say, I love Killer Workout. Me too. Okay, so here's another one that you guys and gals may think, gee, Dana, you're being kind of harsh, aren't you? But remember I say so bad they're good, which means I find some entertainment qualities in these movies. And that is Kingdom of the Spiders starring William Shatner. And I can't stand spiders, right? And this one always makes me feel icky when I watch it, but it's so entertaining that I simply can't keep myself from watching it and could not stop myself from getting the Blu ray. So, in case you couldn't tell what this movie's about by the picture there, I'm going to give you a little bit of a plot synopsis. So, William Shatner, from of course Star Trek, stars as veterinarian Rack Hansen, not Rick, but Rack, in his classic 1977 creep show about an Arizona town infested with a horde of arachnids. that turn on humans whose insecticides have depleted their normal food supply. Also starring is Woody Strode from The Professionals and Scream, Tiffany Bowling from Wicked Wicked and The Candy Snatchers, and Alchavice Davis, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, Welcome to Arrow Beach, and directed by John Bud Cardos, The Dark and Mutant. Now see this drive-in classic from a brand new HD master. Now, what makes this so bad? Okay, some of the overacting, not everybody overacts in this, but some people do. For instance, the guy in the middle there, that guy is a pilot who is spraying insecticides. And as he's flying around in his plane, spraying insecticides on fields and in the grass and all that stuff, these damn tarantulas start crawling up his legs, and there's not a thing he can do. And he lets out a scream that sounds like a woman or a little girl, and it is the most insanely entertaining and hilarious thing I believe I've ever seen in a movie, and it has to be seen to be believed. And the overacting on the part of Shatner in this movie is just classic. That makes this movie a standout. Those two things actually make it a standout above a lot of other, insect attack films. Okay, so oh, and the final scene is one that I think has got to be seen to be believed, right? So that's Kingdom of the Spiders. Phil, you said love kingdoms. Chris, you say Kingdom of the Spiders? Really? Oh my gosh, X-ray, you say it looks like it looks like Shatner is holding a boner that's on fire in that poster. Phil, you say I need Kingdom on Blu-ray too. Super Batman Nerd, you say I like arachnophobia and eight-legged freaks. Blissel says I like spiders, but that emoji's kind of saying otherwise. All right. So the next to last one is Luther the Geek. I saw this one back for the first time back in my video rental days. And by the way, there's the other cover for this thing. This one, the way it's shot and the muted colors and all that sort of reminds me of Blood Harvest. But it's not really like Blood Harvest. So, what is it about? Well, it's about Luther the Geek, obviously, but let's go into it in more detail. One night when Luther was a boy, he discovered that there was something different about him. He enjoyed the taste of blood. Following in the footsteps of others like him, Luther became a geek, a deranged man who bites the heads off of live chickens in exchange for booze or money. Now, decades later, Luther is about to be paroled from prison and is ready to return to his hometown, fitted with a set of razor sharp metal teeth, because when he was a little boy, he got knocked down and it knocked some of his teeth out, and an unquenchable thirst for human blood. Directed by Carlton Albright, who did The Children, Luther the Geek is a bloody and bleak rule slasher featuring gruesome gore courtesy of William Purcell, who did stuff for The Exorcist 3, and Mike Tristano, who worked on Evil Dead 2, in what Fangoria called the most riveting splatter film since the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Although I wouldn't agree with that, this one certainly is fun. Vinegar Syndrome presents this 80s horror classic, newly restored from its original 35 millimeter negative and in widescreen for the first time. Now, the person that steals the show in this movie is this guy here, Luther, played by Edward Terry. He, if he wasn't in this, if he didn't play Luther, I don't think this movie would be nearly as entertaining to me. Um, just watching how Edward Terry takes over the screen as Luther just raises this quite a bit above some of the other so bad they're good horror films. And I ain't kidding about that. But again, don't take my word for it and go out and buy this movie. I definitely, again, will say it's better if you try to find a for free version first. All right, so the final movie of the night is, let me see if I can show this, is Mardi Gras Massacre. Now, truly, that cover looks a lot better than the movie actually is. I mean, that's a cool looking cover, actually. Severin put this one out as well, and I held off quite a while before I ended up picking this one up. So this was Luther the Geek on YouTube. So there you go, hey guys and gals. You can go to YouTube and watch Luther the Geek. So some parts of this movie kind of remind me of Blood Feast. I mean, this is kind of a cut above when compared with Blood Feast, but Blood Feast is another really fun one. Chris, you said you thought about getting Mardi Gras Massacre. X-Ray say should have called it Fat Tuesday. So the tagline says everyone is celebrating. Nobody hears the screams of the victims for the sacrifice. Yeah, very bad acting. Very, very bad acting. But the premise behind all of this is so outrageous that I find it entertaining. And I've only seen it once now, but I still find it entertaining. So Rock Shock and Pop said, ridiculously entertaining, one of those amazingly wretched but blissfully effed up films that you need to see for yourself. With only 5 films, New Orleans-based writer, producer, director Jack Weiss, and if Dirk was in here, he would probably be able to tell us a little bit more about this movie. What movie am I talking about, John? Well, I'm talking about the last movie of the night, which is Mardi Gras Massacre. X-Ray says it's another one free on Tubi. Well, there you go, guys and gals. You can watch it for free on Tubi. Jack Weiss became one of the most enigmatic figures in 70s exploitation, and for his final trashterpiece, Weiss delivered a filth-fueled, disco-drenched, and gore-soaked epic of butchered hookers, hard-boiled homicide cops, and a prissy psycho with an Aztec sacrifice fetish. There remains a once-in-a-lifetime sleaze experience. Kurt Dawson, A Bloodbath, Ronald Tennant of Crypt of Dark Seekers, and February 75 Playboy Playmate Laura Mish star in this shocking yet hysterical fever dream of regional filmmaking, with soundtrack by Dennis Coffey and Mike Theodore from Black Belt Jones. And this is still evidently banned in the UK as one of the original pt.39. Darren, is that still true? I mean, is it still banned? If you've got it, maybe not, but according to this, it says it's still banned. Now featuring a 2K master compiled from the best surviving post-Katrina elements and a revealing new interview with Weiss himself. Trash film guru also said a grindhouse classic. I don't know if I'd go that far. It's brutish, nasty, unapologetic, and sleazy, like some of the best nights of your life. And Darren, you say, I've had Mardi Gras Massacre on DVD for like 13 years and never once had the desire to watch it. You got the import DVD, Scorpion, you think? Okay, gotcha. So, guys and gals, we have officially reached the end of another Seductive Poison the Resurgence podcast and another So Bad They're Good Horror Films Part 3. And I have more to come. So next Thursday will be another 10 films. I think I can make another 10. That may be the last one, but there may be enough material to go for another one. So stay tuned for that. Again, sadly, I have to work the late shift tomorrow at work and will not get to have another episode of Midday with Dana and Jay, but Jay and I will be back the following Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. But here's the deal, and I got to talk to Jay about this. I'm going for my first weight loss shots appointment on the 22nd. So we might not be able to go on quite as long as we usually do for these. I may just have to make it an hour and a half daily, and then get off there because I've got to schedule an Uber to come pick me up to take me to this appointment because my neighbors are they're down a vehicle, so they won't be able to take me. John, you say, I need to see this, heard about it. John, you said, just did a podcast on Beyond the Black Rainbow. Did you ever see it? It's a trip. Director Mandy did it. I think I saw parts of it, John. I think Steve may have watched all of it. I didn't really care for what I saw of it, but perhaps I need to wait a little bit and give it another try. Blissful says, John, that's awesome. Thank you, Chris. Chris says, great stuff, Dana, as always. So, that, as I said, finishes up another Seductive Poison, the Resurgence podcast. A little note about the podcast. I have been in talks with Jenny, or, well, not really in talks. I sent her a message. I'm waiting to hear back from her. I guess I should be totally upfront about that. She hasn't answered me yet, but I think she will, one way or the other. You know, whether it's a negative or positive, I'm sure she'll answer me. But I'm trying. I originally did Seductive Poison with Jenny through Skype, so it was audio only all the way. However, I did tell Jenny in the message that if she wanted to come in live on the stream, she could. If she wanted to just do audio, that was fine. So we'll see how that goes, and I will update you guys as I know more information. Hey, Russell. And thank you, Blissful. Blissful says, I agree with Chris. Great live, Dana. But I hate that Russell just got in here and I'm getting ready to get off this stream. Nah, X-Ray. Nah, she's not like Uncle Bill. Just turns up when they feel like it. No, it's just that Jenny's very busy, and we used to do the Seductive Poison podcast in audio format on a pretty regular basis. But like I've said before, Jenny has two extra kids. She got remarried. She got a new job. So all of that, that eats into your time. So I will, hopefully hear something from her in the near future so I can let you guys know. Oh, wow. Russell has 2 tarantulas. Ooh, man. All right. So on that note, I'm going to skedaddle on out of here for the night, and I will see everyone on the flip side. Y'all have a good night, and I will see you next time.